Romesh, we've obviously been talking with Ian about acting a lot, and you have been acting, I know, successfully, because you're in a new... Is it a new live-action, or is it an animated and live-action version of Cinderella?
It's a live-action version of Cinderella, but my character's sort of part animated, because I'm playing one of the mice that turns into a footman, basically. Right. So I had to do some VO as a mouse. It's a musical as well, which I hadn't fully appreciated how challenging that was going to be.
So you're singing in it as well?
Yeah, it was actually awful because I sort of knew it was a musical, but I didn't audition for it. They just they were kind enough to offer me the part, and so I thought, well, they must know that I haven't really got that in my locker. And so my first day on the film was going to this music studio and doing my vocals. It's the first time I met the director, all the American execs, like everybody. And so I turned up to this studio, and the director said to me, Kay Cannon, she's like really lovely, she said to me, do you want to warm up your voice before we get in? And I was like, no, I don't think that would be necessary. I'm currently operating at peak capacity. But it was mad because I went in to the booth, and then the musical director would go, OK, so this is how we're doing it, and he'd sing it for me. And then he goes, right, you go for it. And then they'd play the music, and then I did it, and then they'd put on the thing, and then they'd go, that was great, really great. And then he'd mute my headphones, and they'd have a really serious panic conversation that I couldn't hear. And then they'd get me to do it again. It was just so humiliating. I ended up doing it about 20, 25 times.
And were you doing it in your normal singing voice, or were you trying to do like a mouse singing voice?
There's no... I don't... First of all, I don't have a normal singing voice.
Right.
I mean,
you must, because you rap mainly, don't you? If you're excited about music, you would join in with hip-hop rapping, wouldn't you?
But that wasn't what was required. What was required was sort of nuanced R&B vocals, which I just didn't have. Do you know what I mean? So...
Could we hear, maybe not from that song, I know you probably can't, but could we hear a bit of your voice in action?
Oh, yeah.
So we know what we've got to look forward to.
Now you're taking the piss.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You can't refuse it.
I had to sing something like, you're a shining star, no matter who you are.
Why are you doing that with your head as well? What's
I don't know, it looks a bit stereotypical.
Yeah, why are you doing that? It's like you're making us look bad.
No, I'll do it. You want me to do it? I'll do it for you. No matter who you are.
You're still doing it.
I can't stop doing it. Shining bright to see.
Hold your head still.
I can't do it, man. That's just how I was doing it in the booth. But the worst thing about that is I had to record it in the booth.
Yeah.
And then they play it in when you're actually on set doing the actual... So, you know, Camilla Cabello is playing Cinderella, and they play her bit. Sounds amazing.
Amazing voice, yeah.
And then... and then they play my bit. It was really embarrassing.